Brittany, when is the podcast gonna be live? Because the people are ready.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Theetripletpodcast with yours truly, the one and only Miss Teflon, or Big Tef, whichever one you want to call me. Thank you so much for tuning in for my first episode, and I know it's been a long time coming. You've been had the Instagram since May. You keep making these blog posts on Instagram, but I want to hear your voice. We want to know more of your opinion. I know. I'm here. The wait is over, and I promise you it was worth the wait, all right? So if you are not already, pause before we even begin to get into this episode. Make sure that you are following the podcast Instagram at Theetripletpodcast, and that's two E's, the, not the. T-H-E-E, triple T podcast, okay? T as in the letter T. All right. If you are also into yoga and meditation, if you did not know, as you get to know me, I am also a yoga instructor in the Miami-Dade and Broward area. I might come to Palm Beach, just depending on the client. So if you are interested in getting into yoga and meditation, make sure you follow that page on Instagram as well, at SoulFlowYo. And of course, if you want to keep up with me, my personal blog on Instagram, at the Teflon Diva. Make sure you tap into all three accounts. All right, so before we get this started, I definitely just want to get a toast going. If you know me personally, I love making toast. I'm a very sentimental person. So I got this here champagne here, and we're going to pop this. If you at home listening, if you at home watching, listen, and they are not sponsoring this episode, so let me just go ahead and turn that bottle. But if you are at home, if you are just playing this on your way home, or if you are in your bubble bath, you winding down, or if you're about to have an appointment, turn this up. Make sure that you get some wine, get some champagne. If you're not drinking right now, you taking a hiatus off of that. That's cool and all with the new year coming up. New year, new you, huh? Yeah, we'll see next year. But anyway, get you a glass. I'm going to go ahead and pop this open. Now, normally I am a very clumsy person, so I'm going to hope that this goes as planned. Cheers. So I'm about to pour up. Khalid, don't kill me. Shout out to the AV Club. This is the studio, the home of the Triple T podcast. So if you are drinking with me, cheers. Thank you so much once again for tuning in for my first episode. You are in for a treat, all right? Cheers. So before we get things crack-a-lacking, let's talk about what the Triple T podcast is all about. First of all, we're going to be talking about so many things, including current events, news, black culture, relationships, sex, of course. I know that's what y'all looking for. Okay. Personal stories from yours truly, submitted questions. We're going to talk about the answers, and we do a lot of commentary here. This isn't the shade room, but we definitely talk about a lot of things that's going on in the world. All right. The girl got her champagne, which is my beverage for the night. Usually I'm a Prosecco girl, or really it just depends on the night. My boyfriend was telling me to bring some Crown. I wonder why. But anyway, let's go ahead and go into the first question that was submitted to Theetripletpodcast@gmail.com. If you don't know, you can always submit your questions and topics there. Or if you want to be a part of Miss T's DMT, make sure that you definitely send a DM with whatever it is that you want to talk about or for me to comment on the podcast. All right? So first, we are going to leave our writer anonymous. However, she is a longtime follower, and I'll just say longtime listener because that's what they say on the radio, right? But what they say, longtime listener, first time caller, something like that. So we gonna remix that for you, girl. All right, so here we go. Make sure that you have your ears open. Make sure that you are very attentive. All right, we are going through our first email of the night, and I entitled this submission, "Did she miss the rules of dating?" Here we go. Hey, sis, I know you said topics and questions, but I figure you might have some thoughts on my story. I can already tell I do. So let's get started. So basically, some months back, I matched with the dude on BLK. First of all, do y'all say BLK or black? Either way, I mean, I used to be on there. Shit was wild. On BLK, and we started chatting it up. He's 33, lives in Gainesville, and said he's traveled to 15 or so different countries or whatever. Okay, so he's trying to impress you. He in the military or something? I mean, other than that, okay. What's the countries he been to? I would have gave him a quiz. Anyway. That didn't faze me, but I guess we can talk about it, LOL. We messaged for a few days and we exchanged numbers. Conversation was okay. I mean, it started off good at least. He explained how he was looking for someone or something, very much something consistent, and described the qualities he was looking for in that woman. He asked me to go on a date so we could chat in person and get to know each other. We went to a movie and then dinner. I can say the first date was enjoyable. Okay, we like to hear that because a lot of times I don't know what's in the air, what's going on. First dates, they don't rock as first dates no more. It's always some bullshit on the first date. Like, damn, can we at least get to a couple of dates before you show me who you really are? But, I mean, really, time is of the essence, right? Why entertain something if we know it ain't gonna last? Something that we always say, but we never preach, right? Oh, yeah, this is definitely a podcast where I hold men and women accountable. Ain't nobody safe, not even me. He opened every door and made sure that I was comfortable the whole time. The vibe was good, and we decided we'd like a second date whenever we had time. Well, I like the way that this is starting off. It seemed like there was an issue when you said that conversation was okay, but it seemed to be okay enough because both of y'all are feeling each other at this point, and y'all wants a second date. All right, Miss T is feeling it. Let's go on. He finally gets around to asking for the second date on Halloween weekend. We made it a chill night at my place since we both didn't want to deal with the chaos of Halloween night. Oh, so it's a home date. Second date is a home date. Okay. I bet you did a lot of that, huh? All right. We smoked. And we drank, a few bottles of wine. So maybe I got a little too comfortable and gave up the goods. Happens to all of us, sis. Hopefully it was worth it. Let's move on. Definitely my mistake. Wait, it was short-lived and unsatisfying, but whatever, it's cool. At least somebody had a good time, right? Wrong. I want to know what you did in that moment as soon as you got up and put your drawers back on and you realized that this just wasn't it. Anyway, a short time passes and he wants to know if I possibly want to hang out again. And she puts a red flag. Because possibly hang out, why not take me out, But I didn't want to get hung up on the wording. So I'm like, sure, what did you have in mind? And he says, I don't know the area, so you tell me. And she puts another red flag. That's what Google is for, boo. Now, hold up. I have to say, men, when you are asking a woman out on a date, that is completely on you, especially if you are coming to the woman, you're trying to court that woman. You need to have all your ducks in a row and come correct. It's that simple. In the same breath, ladies, don't always be so comfortable that men always have to plan the dates. If you're with a good man, don't you want him to know that you like him just as much as he likes you? So you got to put in the same kind of effort. So even though you guys already went on one date, he took you out, and then the second date was the home date where things went down, maybe he possibly wanted to use this third date as an opportunity to make up for what happened during the second. But let's move on before I get ahead of myself. Because possibly hang out, why not take me out, But I didn't want to get hung up on the wording, all right. So I'm like, sure, what did you have in mind? And he says, I don't know the area, you tell me. That's what Google is for. So I suggest, and he agrees and says, as long as his car is out of the shop. Okay, I don't know what she suggested, but she did suggest something. Oh, she suggested dinner. And apparently his car is out of the shop, or in the shop. Okay, cool, I don't hold my breath. Day of, he says he has to reschedule. Car isn't ready. So I say, okay, that's fine. Just let me know when. Okay, so you leave. The ball in his court. All right. His car in the shop. Listen, I know how car shit can be. That shit can be stressful. Okay? Cars are expensive. So you already know that you got some car trouble. You don't want to do shit. I don't blame him. But because of the circumstance, let me not say that just yet. Let's move forward. Girl, she put a couple of R's and a couple of L's. Why I didn't get a response or hear from him for 2.5 weeks. And yet again, another red flag. Actually, she put 4. She said, that's cool, though, because I'm doing me. All right, if you doing me, you was counting, girl. You was counting that it was 2.5 weeks, but that's okay. At this point, I would ask my viewer, what did you want this man to be to you? So the first time, everything was great. The first date, everything was great. Second date was cool. Y'all was chilling at home, different type of scenery, different type of vibe. Y'all end up doing the twisted tango in the bed. Now y'all trying to kind of pick up from where y'all at this point. I would like to know if you still think he was relationship material at this point, or if you just wanted him to be a cuddy buddy. Because if you wanted him to just be a cuddy buddy, or at least see if he has the potential to be a cuddy buddy because he didn't really perform that second time that well. Let's keep reading. Out of nowhere, he decides he wants to text me to hang out again the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So this is fairly recent. I'm like, okay, cool. I want to go bowling. Parentheses. Why am I planning this when this is all his idea? As I said before, honestly, after you have established some kind of connection or rapport with somebody and y'all are equally feeling each other and you guys have had that conversation where you're on the same page, you should not feel like you are taking on a male role by planning a date. I'll be personal with my current boyfriend, Chef, as everybody knows him. One of these days, he'll probably be on the podcast, but it's just about me and you right now, y'all. But anyway, one of our dates when we were actually first dating, I planned out. Now, even though I didn't know his fear of water was that great, I had booked a boat tour for us to go to Star Island. And then after that, we went to Roof Chris. Something simple, you know what I'm saying? I'm all about scenery. It was great weather. And then I'm all about food. I'm such a foodie. So I figured we just go out to eat. So for most women, they would look at me like, you did all that? You spent all that money on him? Yup. You know why? Because I liked him. I still like him, obviously. But we liked each other. So don't get so hung up on the fact that, oh, I like this dude, but I don't want to seem too eager that I'm planning all of this because he's going to think I'm X, Y, and Z. Fuck that. If he's a good man and he is interested in you and he's the one for you, then ain't nothing to worry about. Don't worry about no judgment. If you ever meet a man that clowns you for planning something for him, cancel that bitch. Now, Friday night rolls around and I'm just like, nah. Let me see if this man is driving an hour to take me out just so he can get in my drawers. He got in them drawers before. I'm not gonna lie. If you are not in a relationship with a guy and you guys already did the and it's not established as a one-night stand, you think when you see him the next time, he ain't gonna want to tangle with you again? Especially if it was good. Now, if it was bad, then he probably ain't gonna try nothing. But if it was good and he's attracted to you, and y'all not in a relationship and there's no strings attached, why you think he wouldn't jump for that? So, of course, we're going to have that preconceived notion in our head. Now, some men could disagree with that, but I'm just going to keep it a buck. Anyway, so I text him Saturday morning, hey, I know we are due to hang out, but I wanted to be upfront that I don't intend to have sex later. Come on for being direct and letting him know. Abstinent to the end of the year. Remember, this is November. I'm telling you now so we are on the same page. So I do commend Sis's, efforts in telling him straight up, look, I know I gave you the coochie the second date, but if we gonna vibe, cookie jar is closed. Let's see what Buddy had to say about that. His response, and I quote, LOL, is that like a New Year's thing, bitch? I'm still waiting on my car to get done anyway. It's all good, though. I respect that. And then he sends a picture of his car in the shop. I can't even count how many red flags she put. So at this point, sis is not having this shit. So I already knew what was up. And you better believe I saved that picture. Now, why you did that? And checked the timestamp to see what was really going on. Chad, the picture was from Friday morning. So let me get this straight. He just took a picture of his car being in the shop using probably an alibi from Friday about lying from some other shit. And sends you the picture to make you feel like, hey, I'm not mad that you ain't putting out, but I'm still waiting on my car anyway. Man, sometimes y'all be so full of shit. Stop it. My man's wanting some coochie. Hey. All right. So now you a bold liar, laughing my fucking ass off. I blocked his ass right then and there. Yeah. So that's a telltale sign. If he doing all of that, listen, I feel like if he didn't want to do the tango, he probably would have had a different response than what it was. But this response is giving me, I'm going to show her that, I'm not really tripping about the fact that she don't want to give me none, because I am just so consumed about my car, and that I respect your decision. Baby, if you hurt, just say that. If you only wanted to get in my drawers, you should have just said that, which I agree. I tell my guy friends all the time, you taking women out consistently, making them think that it's one thing and it's the other thing. If you just say you wanna, you'll be surprised how many women are down for the... Hold on to that. Viewer still writes, don't try and create an illusion of what you think I want. Because, baby, I'm worth more than a dinner at the Cheesecake Factory. I know that's right, bitch. You better know your worth. Speaking of the Cheesecake Factory, I like the chicken costoletta with mashed potatoes and green beans and extra lemon butter sauce at the side. Anyway, I guess he felt entitled to the goods because I gave him some already. And he was driving an hour and spending money to do so. Is that a thing these days? Yes. It's been a thing. It's been a thing when it wasn't a thing. There are some men that do believe that if they do put out financially or in any means that depletes from what they have to give to you, you damn right they want something back in return. And how many men have we ran across like that? They not all like that. I take that shit somewhere else. It's clear you don't value spending actual time to get to know me as a person. You just want some coochie. That's what I said earlier, girl. I could smell that. Shaking my head in your big age. Please do better. All right. So, did he think that by me giving up the goods the second date was me defining my worth? And I'm going to keep it a buck with you, sis. Dudes don't give a F that we care about our worth. One more time. Dudes could give a flying F about how much we value our self-worth and the work that we put into it. You know why? Because self-worth is all about self. I cannot rely on one person to define my worth or fulfill it, to complete it, or even to deplete it. It's all on me if I allow somebody to do that. So I will say no. He wasn't worrying about your worth at all. 2, does having sex too soon automatically dub you as a potential partner? Hell no. Do you know how many couples are happily married right now for years and years and they had sex on the first date? Please, it's 2021. If you're looking for a politically correct podcast, this is not it. People are going to have sex, damn it. And you know what? Sometimes sex during the first date is really not such a bad thing. Now, obviously, if both parties are on the same wavelength and consents are made, because we're all about consenting, good adults, and we're all grown, what's the problem? So, if both parties are fine with having sex on the first date and then they continue to build things on after that, so be it. And the last question, did I miss some of the rules of dating? And that is exactly why I titled this first episode that. Did I miss some of the rules of dating? You didn't. If anything, this was a pivotal lesson in dating. Understand that men are very simple and they will tell you what you need to know. And if they don't tell you something, that's still telling you something. Have you ever heard of the quote, no response is a response? So when he went ghost those 2.5 weeks, clearly you were not a priority. You were not on the brain. And you said that you was doing you too. I don't think that you missed the rule of dating. I think you just really experienced one of the lessons of dating. Sometimes people come as off they are the one, on the first date especially, and then after that, that's when you really get to see who people are, especially on these apps. Now, I'm not bashing dating apps. I have been on a lot when I was single, and you know, sometimes you definitely meet people even if it doesn't spark into a relationship. Sometimes you still, you know, talk to that person cordially, or you may form a friendship. But sometimes meeting people on these apps versus in person, you just don't know who you're dealing with. So even though you did have a great first date, sis, and the second one was okay, let's not forget the fact that he didn't even deliver. There was really no third chance, or second chance rather, third date. Second chance for him to prove himself if he should even be in your lineup. Because as you said, and I'm looking right at the email, you said it was definitely a mistake. Unsatisfying. Nah. So, you know what? Don't even count this as an L. You probably dodged a bullet. All right, so this next piece of tea was something that was submitted to me on Instagram at the Triple T Podcast. And I had to post this on my story and definitely get some reactions because I was shell-shocked with what I heard and read. So let's go ahead and play the audio.
Hey Charmaine, my name is Lisa and my life is in shambles after I found out that my husband Greg had a thing 15 years ago with an ex-best friend of his, George. I found out because I went through Greg's phone and George recently reached out to Greg because he was coming in town and wanted to see Greg. Greg and I have been married for 17 years now, and George and Greg used to be like brothers but fell out. Greg never really disclosed what happened between the two of them, and I respected that because that was their business. I never thought Greg and George were lovers though. In the text I found in Greg's phone, George basically is confessing that he thinks about my husband daily, misses him, and still loves him. I thought he meant as friends, but then George states that all he wanted was for Greg to come clean. He wanted Greg to tell me about him and George, which is obviously why the relationship ended. Greg doesn't know that I saw the message in his phone, and he also doesn't know that George sent the message because I deleted it before he read it. Charmaine.
What should she do? And when I posted this on my story, I simply said there's nothing else to do. I think Greg and George have told you exactly what you need to do. Let's go ahead and go into some of the reactions that I got when I had posted this on my story. Queen Tiffy88 says, honestly, truly, first of all, I just want to know who was pitching and who was catching. Girl, I don't think we'll ever know. She came back to say, for me, that makes a big difference. Storm tapped in and said, first and foremost, I'm shoving that phone up his ass since he loves shit. Moving on. Educated Beauty tapped in and said, tell him bye, lying ass Greg. Well, the LaShow Show also tapped in and said, girl was going through his phone. Why? She felt something was up, following your intuition. If you are going through a phone, prepare to take action or just stay in ignorance. I ain't doing no snooping to stay. I'm snooping to find cause to leave. So leave. She irritated me. Yeah. I would definitely say once you have found that in the phone, I forgot what the lady name was, but baby, you got some things to decide. Not much thinking to do, but like I said, you know exactly what you're supposed to do when you see a message like that. Crazy. I don't know about y'all, but my second glass of champagne is a done data. And we have reached the end of the first episode of the Triple T Podcast. Once again, thank you guys so much for following, tapping in, commenting, liking, subscribing, and just being there and being supportive. Remember, here at the Triple T Podcast, we speak unfiltered and we speak authentically. Once again, make sure you tell your homeboys and homegirls, tell everybody to tap in. Follow the show at the Triple T Podcast. Follow your girl if you want to keep up with me at the Teflon Diva. And if you definitely need some yoga and meditation, follow at SoulFlowYo. Make sure you follow all 3 handles and make sure you stay connected. All right. I cannot wait for this episode to be posted since it is the first one. Make sure you let me know how you liked it, how you hated it, all in between, how drunk you got, how surprised you were from all these reactions and our emails that we're getting. We have so much more to go into, and I'm so excited that you guys continuously support and that you're going to be here for the whole ride. All right. Thank you so much. Tap in, tune out.